For more than 15 years, selling wood has been Ahmed Dafie's source of income. He gets it from the forests in Gallabat in Sudan's Gadaref state near the eastern border with Ethiopia. But he says fighting near the border in recent months has affected his livelihood.
I and 2 others who were farmers were abducted by Ethiopian militiamen who've crossed the border. They demanded ransom from the village residents. While they held us, they kept saying that it is because of the border dispute between Sudan and Ethiopia that they're launching attacks. To make us move far from the border, the ransom was paid, and now I don't venture far out for fear of my safety.
Ahmed's village is one of several in Gadaref that lie along the border area. It's also an area where Ethiopians don't need paperwork to cross and come to trade and earn a living. But the ease of movement here has led to fear. Dozens of people here have reported being abducted by Ethiopian militias for ransom since the start of the year. Part of the reason for the instability along the Sudan-Ethiopia border is a lack of clearly defined boundaries in most areas. This issue has led to not only the abduction and killings of civilians in border villages, but also fighting between the 2 sides in the past months. In November last year, Sudan's military moved to take over a fertile 3,000 square kilometer area in the state known as al-Fashaga that Sudan claims under a colonial agreement dating back to 1902. But ethnic Amhara farmers from Ethiopia say they've been farming it for nearly 50 years and it belongs to them. The dispute has resulted in the loss of lives on both sides as talks to demarcate the border stalled. Sudan's army says it's working to keep civilians safe.
Our forces are spread throughout the eastern region and are capable of protecting civilians. There are safe zones we've marked for civilians to be in and to farm in and continue with their livelihoods. But the areas that are danger zones should be avoided to avoid abductions by raiders from the other side.
Ethiopia says border talks won't resume unless Sudan's army retreats from al-Fashaga. The violence has led to the repeated closure of the official border crossing at Gallabat. Those who cross from Ethiopia say that affects their economy as well.
I bring goods to Gallabat and take other goods to sell back home. The insecurity affects us citizens because we're just simple people. What happens at a political or military level affects everyone on both sides, but those on top don't experience what we do.
Back in Ahmed's village, he says he hopes the border dispute between Sudan and Ethiopia is resolved soon. If it isn't, he may have to find another way to support his family. Hiba, Aljazeera, Gallabat, Gadaref State.